everyone. Welcome to part 2 of Sonic the Hedgehog. We'll be talking about textures and adding hair. So when we add the texture paint, we're going to use texture paint and probably material slots. Those few steps, it's probably going to look like this, like a cartoon. And then the next section will be adding hair, which will be more realistic, like in the movie, right? So I'll be showing you a few different methods, material slides, and then texture paints with UV wrapping. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we start though, my previous section I was using quad remesher 1.3. This will save hours of time, very beneficial if you want to save 2 hours. This quad remesher is just a retopologizer. It retopologizes your objects in Blender with one click. Like I said, it's a 30-day trial. Feel free to try it out. It's not no charge in it. All you gotta do is download it. It's free to download, right? And they give you a 30-day trial, so you don't have to pay. No, you don't have to put no credit card in or nothing. Once the 30 days is over with, it'll just stop working. Here's the license manager stuff. All you gotta do is when you buy it though, it'll give you like a key. You just go here and then put the key in and you're done. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be talking about, let's go into edit mode. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go to edit mode and select the head. Press A, right, and it selects the whole head. And scroll in. Actually, let's not even do that. We're gonna do the eyeball first. And why does this look weird? Oh, never mind. I guess it's okay. We'll fix it. We're going to... That's texture paint, by the way. We're going to go ahead and select the eyeball. Just like that. I mean, the eyeball, screw. The inner eye. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to press Control to deselect it. Okay. Control to deselect. Control to deselect. Now this way it's a little bit less messy. It's more cleaner. The next one when we do texture painting, it's a little bit less messy if you're not an artist or you don't know how to draw or make perfect lines. But if you do, hey, good for you. I used to do a lot of sketching when I was younger, then I stopped. And then started doing a lot of Blender stuff. I was doing Blender probably, 10 years? And then, started doing sculpting for 2 years. So I'm still learning. I'm just teaching y'all what I know. And how to get started. Like you say, drag and drop. I mean, we're just dragging and clicking. Should we? Let's deselect this one. Deselect that one. Click that one. Deselect. Alright, we'll fix that later, but it looks good. Yep. And then this gets deselected. So, looks like the eye is good. I think we selected everything in the eye. Make sure you get everything. You don't want to skip anything. This is an important step. Alright. It keeps going to texture paint. We'll be going to texture paint. That's why the head looks like that. Go back. Oops. Alright, so now that it's selected, we want to go into the material tab, which is right here, material, and then select plus. We want to select new. We're going to give it a name and say enter I, and then we're going to click assign. What did I just do? I just created a new material, and I assigned that material to this highlighted area. So this inner eye, whatever color I give it, is going to be assigned to this right here. That's it. Simple. It's 4 clicks. Plus, add, adds the slot. Click new, which creates the new material. Give it a name. Make sure the name is specific to what you're doing so you know what it is. This name is important because you're going to create a few more, and then if you don't create the name, you're going to be like, oh, what did I just create? So once you give it a name, you click assign. Assign is very important. When you click it, nothing happens. It just clicks. That's it. It does, nothing happens. Alright. Now we're going to press Control I. Control I just invert. It inverts the selection that we had this I selected, but it just inverts it. Just make sure we do less clicks. Alright. So we're gonna have this as the body. So we're gonna deselect the mouth though. We don't want this. We don't want the mouth. Actually, let's do it this way. And then, like, we're deselecting. I'm pressing Control to deselect. Just like that. There we go. Just like so. There we go. It looks good, and I think let's deselect this one. Yeah, it looks good. Make sure the back is good, because this is going to be the head. This is going to be the head. Yep. I think I got everything. Make sure you got everything, because if you don't, it's a wrap. Alright, so we got everything. Let's go back to tab. Now do the same thing. Plus, new, give it a name, head, press enter, and then click assign. That's it. You're done. So now, for an example, I'm going to Control S to save it. So now look, once we can add it a color. So if we go to this base color, eyedropper, and then select. Because we have this selected, right? Just like where we want to make the color. Boom. And then look, watch. See how it's blue? See? And then we do the same thing to the head. Shit. Hold on, did I have the right one? I think I did the right one. I think I did the right one. We're going to have to do this color again. Here we go. And then do the inner eye. Sorry. I clicked the button by accident. Inner eye, which is white. It's white. You're not going to see anything. Alright, now let's go back into viewport, shader. And then we're going to press Control I to invert again. And we're going to do the mouth. So let's do the mouth. Control click. We don't want this. Just like that. I try to make it as simple as possible. There you go. Now usually Usually, as you can see here, the mouth, he has a nose connected to the mouth, so we're going to be adding two colors. So I'm just going to use this. We're going to use texture paint for this because we're going to have to draw. I want to draw over it just to show you what I mean. I usually use texture paint when it's more than one color. If it's one color, use material slots, but it's more than one color on an object, use texture paint. That's what I do. So to do that, we're gonna create a UV wrapper. So press U. Then we're gonna press this first one, unwrap angle based. And when you do that, little plus sign will come up. You go to the top. We're gonna just create another view section. Click this and then click UV editor, and then this comes up, and this just shows you what the mouth looks like. This is how we create textures and save them, and you can save this and give it to somebody, but we're not going to. I'll show you how to do that in later chapters, in a later video. So now that that's selected, we want to do the same thing we just did. Plus, new, we're going to just say mouth and nose, just like that. Click assign, and then the mouth and the nose just been assigned to that layer. Okay. One last thing, Control Tab, go to Texture Paint. We're gonna go to it's a little section called Texture Slots. Make sure mouth and nose is selected. Click plus, base layer. Keep the name. Make sure it's 2048, 2048. Make sure it's up. Shit. Let's do it again. Exit out. Make sure it's white. Alright, make sure it's white. There you go. And see what just happened? It just created a little layer for us to paint around it. Alright? Now we can paint. But first, make sure we go to stroke. Make sure that space fall off is smoother. Or you can just say smooth, it don't matter. Yeah. And then strength is at max. Make sure this is selected, the strength pressure. And then paint hard is selected. Paint hard. And then we're going to give it the color that we want. Right here. Left click. Boom. We have the color. And then we can just increase the brush. And then we can just go paint over it. See? And it's a little laggy because texture paint can take a lot of resources sometimes. I don't know why it's acting weird, but I'm just showing y'all different ways. Now, one thing about texture paint is, here's for the artist. Now we're going to add the nose. We're going to draw the nose. Alright, we're going to draw the nose. I drop it. Boom. See, the nose has black and he has like a little white dot. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's bring it down. And then we can draw it. There you go. Looks good. Ain't gotta be perfect. I mean, it should. If you can make it perfect, that'd be great. Now let's do the white area. White. F to decrease, and then just a little slant. Just like that. See? Control S to save. Just like that. And then if we go to material tab, you can see that he has what he needs. Boom. Alright. Now what we could do, let's go ahead and save it. Alright, so it looks like we're almost done with the head, we're gonna go ahead and just go ahead and finish the eyeballs. Simple. We could go into what we want to do is wrong button. Let's go into object mode, select the outer eye, and then press tab, press A, select, and then what we want to do is give it a name, plus new, we'll just say outer eye, click assign, plus, boom, give it an eye. Alright, we're done with that, and then we're going to go to, now, a quick lesson or a tip, I guess. Instead of keep pressing Control Tab and going places, you can just, if you want to select whatever, you can. If you press Alt Q and hover over that, you see how it selected it. You probably saw a quickie, but I just selected the inner eye by doing Alt Q, just a little shortcut key. All right. So now we're at the inner eye. We're gonna do tab. We select it. Press Q. We're gonna do. I did it again. Let's do reset you clear. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add it just to see what happens. Enter eye, just like so. Let me remove this. Do you see inner eye somewhere? It's tricky. Now I don't see inner eye. Maybe I'm tripping. I just gotta keep it like that for now. Must have missed it. We'll do that and then click assign. And then we want to I wonder why that's not letting me do that. So weird. So weird. We're gonna do Smart UV project. Let's see what it does. Okay. And then let's try to remove it and see what happened. Alright. Edge scenes may not be added. I'm gonna look into that, y'all. But let's see if we're able to actually add the texture slots, and if we're able to draw. I don't know, worth a shot, right? Right, we probably could. Maybe it's hidden somewhere. I don't know. The UV is probably hidden. And then we're gonna add the inner eye, just like so. And then we could computer's a little slow. I hate when it does that. There you go. So the black is so it worked. And then we have the inner. So we do the white. Don't matter. You know what the white looks like. We're gonna smooth out that. See how it looks a little weird. But we're gonna smooth it out. Just like that. And I don't know what those cracks are. It's something dealing with let me go back to object mode. We're gonna add the multi-resolution subdivide twice. Click apply. Sub multi-resolution for this one. Subdivide twice. Click apply. Okay. And we're gonna go back. Texture paint. Make sure paint hard. No, make this black. So weird. It's like a little static. Let me see. It wasn't like that on smooth, maybe. Alright everyone, so I figured out the problem of why the white stuff were looking weird. So what I did was there's a little data properties and then there's a UV maps option. What I did was click the minus sign and then I redid everything again. And then I went to edit mode, make sure this is selected, press U, and then select the UV wrap that we usually do. And then once I did that, I went here, added the plus, and then plus, and then said new, gave it a name, click assign. Then I went to Control Tab, Texture Paint, same thing as we did plus, and then selected base color, keep that default, press OK, and then I painted it like you see here, like we was trying to do before. So now you can see it's nice and crisp. Looks good. Let's go back into that, and we can go ahead now. Let's go ahead and apply all of our multi-resolutions. Let's go back to object mode. Make sure. Actually, let's not do it for that because look, I just realized we didn't paint the ear. We forgot to do the ear. Let's do the ear. So we can select it. Let's go ahead and do the ear. Right? Literally the same process as before. Just like that. And then it ain't gotta be perfect. Just like so. Alright, and then we can do the same thing. Boom. We're gonna say, let's do, what we're gonna do? Yep, ear. So plus, new, inner, ear. Click assign, just like that. Oops. And then we can give it a color. Boom. Done. We can go and check it out. There you go. We have his ear. Control S to save. Always save it. And now we've done his head. All of his head is done. Now we can go ahead and do his body. So let's go ahead and get his body out the way. Make sure you save it because if something happens, you're screwed. Alt Q. I just did Alt Q to go to the body. Quick trick, as I've been saying before. We selected his body. So now, and don't forget, I have to apply the multi-resolutions to that. So you guys can do that now if you want to the head, to all the objects that we did, because we're done. So let's go ahead and click the body, plus, new, we can probably move pretty fast here. Same routine. Click assign. Here, boom, boom, just like that. Now we could now we can just do this. His stomach. You can paint it. I mean, you can use texture paint to paint his body. Whatever you want to do. Like I said, I'm trying to do it the easy way. It's like that. Now let's go in a little bit. Let's take these two off. It doesn't have to be that big. Let's do this one. Being picky. This is why it's good to have we can just use that. You ain't gotta be perfect. This is just for the tutorial. You guys can make it even if you want. Plus, new, select, enter. We'll just say stomach. We ain't gotta do all that. Stomach. Click assign. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Body is complete. Alright. And then we do his arms. Alt Q. Same thing. Plus, new, boom. Arms. Assign. Here. Boom. Blue. Then we can do Q his headband. His armband plus a new armband. Assign. I guess we just keep it white. Alt Q, select the arm. Press A, make sure both are selected. Plus, new, his gloves. We just say gloves. Assign. It's already white, but just to be sure. Right? Do the same thing with his socks. Alt Q. Plus, new, socks. Click. Boom. Boom. Make sure it's assigned. Perfect. Alright, now we could add the multi-resolution real quick. Let's go ahead and do that. Subdivide it twice. So how it looks good. Go ahead and apply it. Save it. Multi-resolution for his his gloves. Subdivide twice. No. And it froze, and then we gotta wait. I'm gonna probably skip this video to go forward so you won't see that this is frozen. It's because my laptop, there, actually, we're good. It's because this gloves probably has a lot of topologies on it, squares. I forgot the term, but it has a lot. So let's let it wait for a little bit. So I probably will end up fast forwarding this part. there. Alright, now we can add multi-resolution to this one. Perfect. Click apply. Add the same thing to the arms. Click apply. We can probably do the same thing with his stomach. We're not going to apply for this one because I want to make sure this is right. Let's see what it looks like. Yes. Look at Sonic as cartoon. Alright, and then let's go ahead and do the feet. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do the feet. And as you can see, he has the two different colors here, right? So we're gonna have to fix that. Go to tab. If you go to the top here, it's like X-ray mode. Select it, and then we're going to do this, just like that. It selects the bottom. What X-ray mode does, it just selects everything in one go. And now I'm just doing this. Looks good. I'm just controlling clicking, make sure everything looks good. We're almost done with the coloring, and after this, we can do the hair, and we're done. Make sure body's good, body's to the side. We're going to control click, shift click on me, so hey, it does that, but hey, good, wrong one. We're almost done. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button. We're almost done, man. It's a lot of process, man, I tell you. I tell you. It's a lot to be done for this process, but for the video, I'm just trying to teach you what the important things that need to be done. Oops, and we want to make sure the top is good. Alright. And then all we need to do is press P, and then click selection. And then as you can see, press tab. Why is one not showing up? Are we in object mode? What did I just do? Let's find out where this is. So we have that. Okay, so I think that's the strap. Okay, that's the bottom shoe. So we're gonna just say bottom. I'm just renaming it. Alright, then we can retopologize it. We don't need, let's press Shift A. Shift A to closes it out. Go back to tab. There we go. And then we can add our color of the shoe. How do we do that? Same thing that would be done before. Let's go ahead and smooth it out first. Multi-resolution. Yeah, that's good enough. Click apply. That's all we're gonna need. And then we can give it this color. So what do we do next? Edit mode. Press A. Material plus new bottom shoe. Click assign. We just give it the color, just like that. And then we do Alt Q to switch A plus new. And we just say shoes. Assign, boom, click, red. Let's press tab. Multi-resolution, this one too. Twice, it's good enough. Go ahead and click apply, get it out of the way. Alt Q to select the strap. We can do multi-resolution again. Tab, maybe twice is good. Go back to tab. Click apply. Go back to tab mode. Texture, plus, new, shoe, strap. Press enter. Click assign. And I think it's white. Yeah, it's white. And then the last thing is left is the belt. So we do Alt Q. Press A, make sure it's selected. Plus, new, shoe, strap, no, buckle, shoe buckle. Just like that. Assign. The buckle is that color, like a yellowish type. Yeah. And make sure this is, yep. And then let's see how it looks. Tab 1. Look at it, and something messed up with his, it looks good. Looks good. And I'm going to pause the video to fix his mouth again. Alright, everyone, I'm back. I had to figure out what the heck was going on with the texture model. With the texture paint. So I forgot to tell you guys that there's one extra step that we missed. So when we add the texture paint or the material slots and then we go back, we go to another object and then go back to the previous object that we applied the texture paint, you may lose the texture paint. So the reason why, and you don't want to, this step is critical too, because if you want to go back to the previous spot that you painted and you see that it's gone, it's because you didn't save it. So if you go to this little right here, this little shield is called fake user, make sure you click it. See, it says save this data block even if it has no users. So this pretty much saves it in Blender. Alright, and if you want to, you can also export this textures. It will be here in this location. So it'll be image, and then you save all images right there. You can save it right there. And what it'll do, it will save it, and then you can actually re-import it back into Blender if you want to redo this whole sculpt. So for example, if you redo all this stuff and you save each of these right here, save as, right? You can also, you don't have to do all these steps again. You can just import it for a few clicks. So that's the beauty of having those steps. So don't forget to click this little shield for each one. And I didn't do this one, so let's go ahead and do that before it gets lost. So you just got to make sure that you have it saved. And that's exactly what I've done. Alright everyone, so let's go ahead and do the hair now. This is our final step. We've already did texturing for the bodies, the whole body. So we did material slots. So now let's go ahead and do the hair. The first thing we want to do, we're going to be doing particle systems. We're going to be using a particle system, and then plus we're going to use a tool called, or you can say an option called hair curl, or that's what you call it, but let me check. we're going to be doing something like this when we go in here, edit empty hair, right? And then when you click it, and then press Control Tab, Sculpt, it gives you these options of combing the hair, growing or shrinking it, etc. So we could go and draw. But first, you don't want to start it off this way because you end up with a lot of issues from what I was testing. We're going to start off by doing a particle system first. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the head. Okay, start off with the head. And then we're going to go to particle system. Let's go ahead and remove all of these for a second. This was the previous one. And then we're going to go ahead and remove this vertex group. Make sure, okay, so we go to particle system here. Alright, and then we're going to click this plus sign. Oops. And this creates a particle system. We're going to click hair. And as you can see, a whole bunch of hair comes up, just like so. And then what we want to do is we want to change this to 14,000. Because I think Sonic has a lot of hair, just like in the movie. Then we're going to change the hair length to 0.2. I think 0.2 is what I was testing for accuracy. You can, do other numbers, but I think 0.2 was close enough. And then once we do that, we want to scroll down and make sure render options is set to path, and then material is set to head. Okay, we're going to set it to head. Remember in previous sections when we selected the material slots, this is a very good useful tool because when you select the material, as you can see, it already gave the color of the hair that we wanted. Alright, and then we're going to go down and we're going to go to make sure children is none, because when we export, we're going to import this particle system as a hair curl, as an empty hair, as I showed you just now earlier. So we're going to make sure this is none because the brushes and stuff won't work if you set it to this option. So we're going to go back. So we want to just do the head, right? So we're going to go to the material tab real quick. And don't remove from the previous steps or previous part 1, I guess, when we created these material slots. Not part 1, but earlier when we created these material slots, we have these right here. So select the head, and we're going to go to edit mode. Make sure it's nothing selected. And then we're going to press select here. This just selects the area as we did earlier. We want to make sure the hair goes here. Okay, very important. Instead of clicking and doing all that stuff, we're going to go to object data properties. Okay, and we want to create a vertex group. Go to vertex group section. This is going to say, hey, let's create a group for head. So just letting the particle system know that we're gonna make sure the particle system, or you can say the hair, is only gonna go where the area is selected. Okay, and then you want to click assign. This is very important. Assign button. And then you want to make sure UV map is selected. You might have something different, but UV map is done by default. Select it. Then we want to go back to particle system, and then we want to go down. Scroll down to a section called vertex group. Density. We want to select head. We just created it, remember? Now the hair has been added to all of the areas that have been selected. The only way to find out if you press Control Tab and then go to white paint. As you can see, the red area is where the hair is located. So when you see red and see the hair, that means you're doing good. And this here, that means no hair is added. Okay, so that's a good sign. And then we're pretty much done adding the particle filter for that specific area. Now let's go to Control Tab. Actually, let me make sure I keep forgetting to turn this on. So now you can see my keystrokes. So Control Tab, we're going to do particle edit. Now we're in particle editing mode. Okay. And what you want to do here is look at these areas. We're going to be using the comb brush to comb his hair back, just like in the movie. And then we have smooth, we have add. This adds more hair. This removes the hair. This length here is also going to be used. Sometimes when you add hair and then you add the color of the hair, it doesn't turn out right. So you might want to shrink it. So when you click the length button, you have a grow and a shrink. Shrink means when you brush on the hair, it's going to shrink it down. Grow is going to increase the hair. All right. So for now, we're going to use this comb brush. Okay. And then we're going to brush it like that. See how I'm brushing his hair? You want to go with the flow of his, how it looks, right? So you want to go with the flow. Push this down, up. We're going to push it up. Just like so. Decrease. Make sure we want to make sure this is, and you got to notice that it's a lot of hair. So we want to make sure this is not in the way. And we're going to shrink this too. We're going to shrink it because it's a little bit too much, but we want a lot because he has a lot of hair. A lot of hair. So we're going to go up and then we're going to brush this way. Now what you could do though is press 3 on the keyboard, make things a little bit quicker, increase it, and just push it back like that. Push it back just like that. And then go down. You want to make sure it's going down. Just like that. And then we want to do the bottom. So now, then we do the other side the same. You can do Control 3 to flip the other side. Just like that. You want to make sure it's perfect. Oh, and press the / on the keyboard. That removes the body and just focuses on solo mode. This just focuses on his head. So that's a very good way to eliminate a few things when you're brushing his hair. Just like so. You want to make sure this is even. It takes some time to get this thing right. You want to make sure it's accurate. Because his hair, he has a lot of hair. Okay. Alright, now we're going to use the shrink brush because this area is a little bit too tall. So we're going to go to the length and then click shrink. See how it shrinks his hair. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Just like, I think that's good enough. Go back to comb and then comb it this way. And then we want to bring this down and he has hair going this way. Boom. Make sure you get the angles. Now when you do this, you'll see that it's going to be a little bit rough in the beginning, but you just gotta make sure his angles are right. Because when you brush it, you can affect the other side of the hair, and it can be a little bit of annoying. Just like so. See, then we gotta get the back. Just gotta know. Here we go. It looks about right. All right, now we've done his. Let's get the top real quick. Here we go. Press 1 for forward. It looks good. And then we can make sure his, oops. It looks like good. Increase. And you gotta make sure it's perfect, because now make sure this deflect emitter is checked, because if it's not, when you're brushing, his hair can go through the object. So just something to think about. Remember that. All right, now once we're done, make sure you save it. Okay. Now we're going to have more control of his hair. I like the particle edit, but the hair curve is a little bit better to work with. So what we want to do, and plus, when you import it or export it to curves, it creates another layer. So that way, like up here, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. So make sure this children is set to none. When you go back to the particle system, make sure you rename this to head, because we just literally did the head. Okay. So because if you go like right here, this is where this little drop down right there. Make sure you select it, and then we're gonna select convert to curves. Okay, convert to curves. Now it created this. It created this right here. This layer. Very important. Just what I showed you in the beginning. This is our particle system that we just created and just converted into a mesh, or you can say a layer, I guess. Right? So when we press Control Tab, 3 options come up. Go to Sculpt, and then we have our brushes for our hair. All right. You notice you don't see anything. It's because what we want to do is let's deselect. Bring him back to normal real quick. Let's go to tab mode, click his head, go to particle system. We're going to deselect the particle system here because we don't really need it at the moment. And what happened to his hair? Sometimes Blender acts a little bit weird. Luckily we have okay, there it is. Don't know what the heck happened, but let's see. Let's go to head. And I bet you let's delete this one last. Let's re-import it again because it acts stupid. Stupid. Make sure we select it. Convert to curve. There we go. I don't know what happened. But I must have clicked something on my keyboard for it to disappear. Alright, now we can see it. Now let's go and delete. I mean, not delete, but see, we have to disable the particle system now because now, like I said, it created its own layer. Let's just disable that for a second. Click the particle system and see this little TV. Just remove it for now. And then here's our head. Just like that. Now this is our hair. Perfect. This is what we want. Now we click his hair, do Control Tab, go to Sculpt Mode, and we're back here. Now we have the hair. Now we could brush again. We could brush. See? Make sure when you're brushing that this scope collision is checked. And I usually bring it down to 0.001. That just make sure that the hair doesn't go through the object. Now you also need to check. There's a new little menu that probably haven't seen before called Object Data Properties. It looks like hair. And make sure this is selected. Click it. And if you go down, there's a surface option. Make sure you select head or the name of the topology of the layers. I think the head is here. Now that's the body. The head is here. Or you can just use the eyedropper, right? And click it. That is selected. Make sure UV map is selected by default. That's what we need. Okay. Now you have to do this or the hair is going to go through the body. And you also have to enable this when you're brushing. You don't want the hair to go through the head. Alright? Simple. Now you can now you can try to fix more of his and the reason why I imported this is because we want more realism. When you use the particle system here, it doesn't look as real. So this, when you notice, make sure you go here, select shade editor, and have this little editor out. Because what we're gonna do is add, you see this new option. Make sure this is selected the head, and we're gonna click new. Okay, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna add. Let's zoom in. Remove this one. We're going to do Shift A. We're going to use the principal hair BSDF. Okay. Connect this one here, just like so. And then we're going to use a curves info, which is here. You can search it, curves info. And then we're going to use a color map right here. Just makes it look more real. And then we're going to use Shift A. We're going to use a noise texture. That's all we really need. Is strand. I like to use strand. Connect to the color map because it's strands of his head. I guess that's what that means. Color is going to be going to color. Let's move this over. And then we're going to do a mixed color. Make sure you do a mixed color. Connect the mixed color there. And then collect the second color node into B. Now we want this color, so we're going to click the ramp eyedropper and then just make sure it's that color, just like so. Now, when you're doing this, you notice when you go into, let's go in here. When you actually go into render mode, Let's go into object. See how it looks a little bit thick. Let's make sure, which one is it? And play around with it. Thickness. See how thick they look? So what you could do is there's another option called Geometry Node Editor. Click it, click New. And what we want to do is we want to do Shift A, set curve radius. This thins out the hairs a little bit. It decreases it. So if we go, watch how big are they now? I think 009 is good. See how it decreases the hairs? This is how you make it smaller. Perfect. And Sonic does have thick hair, but I think this looks a little bit better for some reason. Then let's go back into Shade Editor and make sure the scale is 35. Make sure the details is 30. And then play around with the roughness a little bit. Let's see. Let me bring this back to strand. What else am I missing? Here it is. It should look like this. Looks a little bit thick. Looks more realer. See how the hair looks more real? And this is the settings. I'm going to show you. Mess around with the settings here. Make sure all of these look the same. I got it on each strand. That. And you're good. And then that's how you do the hair. Okay. And then we want to do the same thing we want to add the hair now. Let's add the hair now for this. We just do the same thing. Same steps. We're going to go click the head. Let's go into material preview real quick. Click the head. Particle system. We're going to create another one. We're going to call it mouth, nose, or something. Hair. Hair is going to be 14,000, I think. How much was this one? Yeah, 14K. And then the length is 0.2. Just like so. See how it looks like that. 0.2. Scroll down. Make sure the material set to mouth and nose, like in the material slot that we set earlier. Make sure children is none because we're going to import it to a curve. Alright, and then we're gonna go to the material section, select the mouth and nose, click edit, deselect. We're gonna click select because we're gonna add hair here. Remember that you need these slots when we create these slots in previous section. It's very important to do that. To keep these, don't delete them. We're gonna go to the object data properties. We're gonna add a group. Remember a group. We're gonna call it mouth nose group. Click assign, like you did. Assign is very important. You can't forget that. It's assign the hair to the highlighted area. Then we're going to go back to particles. Scroll down to the vertex group. Density. Mouth and nose is selected because we just created that. Now when you go Control Tab, weight, you see the red there in the hair. That means when you see red, that means that's what the hair is. It's good sign. We're going to go to particle edit. And then, like you said, we're going to brush the hair again. I find that brushing the hair up, I don't know, I find that brushing it up, it just makes it look better. Let's press the / so we can see what we're doing. Remember, we want to do this. Bring it, and then bring it. Just like so. And then we want to kind of make it so that it goes this way. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to cut some of this hair now. I like to bring it to the top. Sometimes this dang on. Let's rotate it a little bit this way. Sorry. So now we're like that. And we're gonna, I should have just pressed 7 on the keyboard. Sorry. Making things complicated. And then we wanna, oops. Let's bring it this way. We wanna make sure it wraps this way to his face. I didn't click something. Make sure the, oh. Alright, so we want to turn it around. My computer crashed, I think, and then Blender wanted to, Blender crashed. And then it asked for an update, so sorry. And back to our regular schedule. So we're gonna move it like that. I think that's good. And then we wanna push that over a little bit. We're gonna push his just like that. This looks good. And then we're gonna use the this cut brush just to cut. Oh, too much. Let's just leave it like that. We could just cut a little bit of it. You can use a pen. I'm being lazy right now, just using my mouse. And make sure his nose doesn't have hair, so make sure you shave his hair. And then let's comb it again. I usually go around this way to wrap it around his just like that, and do the same thing. Swipe it, swipe it, swipe it, just like so. And then use the cut to get the finishing touches. There you go. It looks good. Now we could grow, because I just cut a little bit too much, so we can use the grow brush. Grow, and that just pushes his hair up a little bit, and then we comb it. There we go. And we're back in business. And then you just cut it again to where you want it. There you go. And then his nose, I think, is like that. And we want to grow this one too. You know, play around with it. So these brushes come in handy. And then comb it this way, that way. Let's grow this one a little bit more. There you go. something like that. And then we want to usually turn his like that, and then comb. The bigger the brush, the more strength. Or you can turn the strength up right here too. It doesn't matter. But that's good. And then once you're finished with that, we're gonna do the same step. Import it to a curve so that we can make the hair. Like I said, if you don't want to use realism, make it look more real, you don't have to import as curves. That's what curves does. It allows you to create a shader editor. But you can literally just keep it, like this and be done. Alright, so what we want to do now is tab, go to object mode. We have his thingy like that, done. We could go up to the top. Remember, this is good time to this is why I like to name it. Convert to curve. There you go. It should create. There you go. See how it created another one? Mouth, nose. And we're gonna disable this for a second. And then we're going to go to particle and then just disable, because we have two hairs growing. It's gonna overlap it. So make sure you disable that. And then click the nose again. Right? So we have that. And then all you do is do the same thing. We're going to create the nose, the shade editor. Remember shade editor? And then we're going to go to geometry node editor. Geometry node editor will decrease the hair thin. It will make the hair smaller. So shift A. Make sure you set curve radius. And I guess the hotspot is 0.9. It's 0.009. Right? And that is done. And then it's done. So I'm gonna disable that one because we already have the completed version for that. So hair, and let's go back real quick to shade editor. And the shade editor is the same nodes as we did for the head. So I'm gonna let you see that. Just copy those settings like that. Same thing, use the eyedropper to put it on the reference image. And then we have the hair. See the head, literally the same, just different color. So same nodes. So now if we exclamation it out, now we have, this is what it should look like. Now this is what it looked like in cycles. Don't forget to go to cycles, change it to cycles. You can do render, you can do EV, but I just realized that EV doesn't support this principal hair BSDF node, so we use cycles. And then once you're done, you do the same thing, right? Same steps that I just showed you. We're gonna next, let's go out of here. Next we're gonna click the body, right? Click the body, go to particle, create a group. We're gonna call it body. Particle system, do the same thing. Hair 14,000, hair length 0.2. As you can see, the hair has been added. And remember, you want to select the area that you want to have. So let's go make sure it's selected the body. Press edit, and then click select. It's gonna select the body. That means the hair is going to be added here. Go to object, data properties. As you can see, I already have you want to click plus name it the outer body, because it's going to be the outer body. Make sure you click assign, very important, okay? And then once you click assign, you can go to weight paint. You see the hair has been added, see, just like so. And then you want to go to particle edit, and then you want to brush it. You brush it like we did the head. Once you finish the brush, you're complete. You want to just click here, drop down. Oops. Let's go. Actually, I made you miss a step. Don't forget though to, before you start brushing, you probably won't see it, but you need to I'm rushing. You want to click outer body. Sorry, outer body, and then go here. Click outer body, vertex mode. Then you create the plus outer body. Then click assign. Okay. Then once you do that, you can do Control Tab, particle edit, start brushing. Once you're done brushing, all you do is stay in particle system mode and you click the drop down. No, sorry, right here. Click the drop down. Convert to curves. Once you convert to curves, it's going to create a layer here, a mesh layer called hair. It's going to look like that. Then you can click it, do your shade editor. The color of the hair is the same as the body, so all you would need to do to quicken things up is press A, Control C, and then go here, paste it, the node there, and then go to geometry node editor, click new, create the, set the radius, right? And then you're done for the body. So then you're going to do the same exact steps that I just showed you in previous for each. All right, but make sure you're selecting, and don't forget when you're in let's enable this. When you're in scope mode and you're brushing and the hair goes through, make sure you enable this, and you have to go here, set the object. You gotta set it, use eyedropper to click where you want to add it, and then select the UV map to default, and then start brushing. And then your hair looks good. You should look good. Do that for everything, and then when you're done, you should already have. When you're done, let's actually remove this particle system because I don't need it anymore. I don't need this either. When you're done, it's gonna look like this. You got the stomach. Where is the head? Oh, here it is. The body. And it should look like this when you are done. There you go. It has the hair. Alright. Alright, another tip. When you're adding the shaders, and then you go into render view, if you notice white, that means it's too thick. So what you need to do is shrink the hair until the white is gone, and that'll let you know that hey, it's perfect now. Like the length of the hair is perfect. So just another FYI.